Hi, welcome back to Nurturing Traditions. Everybody knows pancakes. It's a tradition here in our house. I like to make different types of pancakes. Everybody knows, the regular buttermilk and the pumpkin, which are all good. But there's a special pancake that I make for my family. It's called Swedish pancakes. And they're really easy, so I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to take 3 eggs. Okay. I'm going to whisk these just a bit. And then we need some milk. I just use regular milk. You can use whole milk, you can use reduced fat, whatever you'd like. We're going to use 2.5 cups total, but we're actually going to divide it. So I'll measure out 2.5 cups, and then I'll only use 1.25. Put this back in. We love to make this. My guys can smell them come running down. So I'm going to use half of this milk to 1.25. Perfect. Oh, actually a little less. A little more, I mean. 1.25. Good. I'll reserve the other half. Okay, and now we're going to add vanilla and rum extract. Use a real rum extract and a real vanilla. It's really important. I like to use a really good vanilla. It smells so good. I'm going to be serving this to some friends later with some fresh fruit and homemade whipped cream. And the homemade whipped cream I simply make with some heavy whipping cream in my mixer. Oh, that smells wonderful. I make it with some heavy whipping cream. And instead of using a lot of powdered sugar and things, I just put a few drops of stevia, which is a natural plant from Paraguay. And I whisk and mix it up, and then I serve it over my Swedish pancakes or whatever I like. So now we're just going to add 1/4 cup, 1.25 cups, excuse me, of flour, okay, to this, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. I'm just going to whisk away. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Okay, we're just going to whisk this guy up. And we're going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Measure your melted butter first and then melt it. Okay, so put that in here. I'm getting hungry. Just thinking about this. It's so nice to relax on the weekends and make these pancakes for your family. It smells so good. Okay, now we're just going to thin this out a little bit with the other half of the milk. Just whisk it up really, really well. And that's too thick, believe it or not. Basically, Swedish pancake is like a crepe. Okay. I had some kids over last week for a little cooking afternoon, and we made all different recipes from Sweden. We did Swedish meatballs, St. Lucia buns. We made these crepes. It was one of their favorites. Okay, this is exactly the consistency that you want. Okay, and I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to set this guy aside just for a second. And then we're going to cut up our strawberries and our blueberries. You can use any fruit. Sometimes I even make a strawberry or raspberry or blueberry syrup with it, which is just basically cooking some berries on top of the stove with a little bit of orange zest and orange juice, fresh of course, and a little bit of cinnamon. Cooking it on top of the stove, reducing it, it comes in, makes like almost like a jam. That's really good on this too. So I'm just going to cut up these strawberries, and then we'll come right back and I'll show you how to get your crepes ready. All right, we'll see you then. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last strawberry here. I'm going to serve this over our Swedish pancakes, crepes, when we're done. And let me come here and just stir this up a bit. And you can see how beautiful this is. You can smell the rum and the vanilla. You can also use almond extract, but I like the rum. So now we've got our pan heated. And I'm just going to spray it with some butter spray. You can use butter too, but there's already 3 tablespoons of butter in there. I've done this both ways. just move your spray away from your fire, of course. You don't want to use this spray. So get it nicely sprayed. And then, this is where it's so much fun. It's so easy. Don't be intimidated. Don't be afraid. You're just going to take about 1.5 ladles full of this. Okay, and I'm going to get him nice and hot. 1.5 ladles. You can hear the sizzle. Ah, do you hear that? That's how you know when it's ready. About another half of a ladle or so. All right, and then watch this, come and see this. The edge of the pan, you're gonna see it move away from the edge of the pan. When it seems like it's pretty dry, and you're gonna notice a difference. You see like right here, it's starting to get dry and bubble up. Well, the whole thing is gonna be like that, and it is so good. I wish you could smell it. It's so good. And you can even move your pan around just a little bit if you'd like to get it. See how you can tell that the bottom is starting to cook a lot? All right, and we don't want to flip this or anything like that. We're not going to flip it. All right. Well, it's starting to move. So now we're just going to wait till it looks like this. You know how when pancakes, they say don't flip them over until they have little bubbles? These don't have little bubbles, but you'll know because when you move it in your pan, it moves freely. So now, here's the fun part. I'm just gonna lower it just a little bit, and I'm gonna push it this way. I'm gonna get my spatula, and I'm gonna move it this way. Now I'm gonna take it the other way, and I'm gonna move it this way. All right, there we have our first pancake. Now, do you see how it almost, you know what it almost looks like to me? It almost looks like lasagna, cooked lasagna. It's so simple. And then you're just gonna take it out of the pan just like this. It'll come right out. All right, let me get a spoon. And we're going to put some strawberries and some blueberries on here. Okay, and everybody that's here with me, they want to eat this right now. And then we're gonna finish it off with a little maple syrup. I always keep this in my fridge. And this is that cream I was telling you about. Just some heavy whipping cream and some stevia. Whip it up, maybe a little touch of vanilla. Okay, now we're just gonna put some little bit of maple syrup on here. Okay, doesn't this look beautiful? The texture of this pancake is wonderful. It's smooth. It just has this smooth consistency. Here's a little bit of that whipping cream. Okay, we're gonna put this right on top. All right, and here you have it, a Swedish pancake. Great for Saturday mornings. Look at how beautiful that is. And you can see the consistency of this. Let me get a little blueberry here. I'm telling you, it's heaven on a plate. Try it, you'll love it.